This is Catalina, I'm a DJ, and you're watching 96 Interview.
It doesn't have to be that serious.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I might have been like cross-eyed looking at it, but whatever.
So, Catalina?
Catalina.
Catalina? Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. Busy, happy, positive for spring and the next few weeks, seasons, sun, yeah.
So what's been keeping you busy lately?
What's been keeping me busy? Mostly working and trying to plan the next few months because summer's coming up, so there's lots of festivals and events and birthdays. Actually, more personal things have been keeping me busy and trying to fit it together with the professional life.
Okay, thanks. So you're invited here today as a DJ, obviously. Everybody has their own perspective on DJing. What does DJing actually mean to you?
I think of DJing as kind of a curative process because I like the idea of how things come together, and of course DJing is about sharing music, but I think when you put everything together it can be a very different experience. So the melange of things and different genres and different atmospheres can give the emotional part and give you a very memorable experience, or make you feel a certain way. And I think DJing is nice because it's quite personal to everyone. Yeah.
Definitely. So how would you describe your own personal style?
I think I'm very eclectic, and I really like to challenge myself, and I like to think of things that are difficult for me. So I like to put different genres together, or even if I find two very different songs, maybe there's one element that kind of sounds similar between them. So that's kind of what motivates me more than a vibe or a party mood. I like to think of it from a technical aspect, and I enjoy the challenge of it.
Are there certain methods you use when you create sets?
Yeah, usually I start from one song, and it also depends on what party I'm playing at and who the other people on the lineup are, because I'm quite a versatile DJ, so I can play different things, which I think is great because, of course, it's nice to be able to pull from lots of different inspirations, but at the same time, it's not 1 hour of the Catalina show, so it's nice to mix it together and think who's playing before me, who's playing after me, who am I playing before. If I'm opening, it makes a difference. And so how will the night progress, and how can I put that energy into my own set? And yeah.
It's beautiful that you have that social aspect, that you consider other DJs, like you're really thinking about being the part of the bigger story.
Yeah, because I think the time when I started going to parties, I haven't been going to parties for so long, but even 10 years ago, it was really about a cohesive night. And I think now it's a lot about, let's say, putting a lot of headliners on, especially with the rise of things like streaming and boiler rooms. Everyone has their moment, which makes sense in that context, but sometimes at a party, as a dancer, if it's very different between the different hours, it can be a bit exhausting, especially if everything's energy. So you need some time to build up when you're just going to the party, having a beer. It's maybe a bit crazy to dance to 160 BPM, so it's nice to ease in, ease out. Yeah.
Cool. So you called yourself eclectic.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any genres you're focusing on?
Yeah, I always really like percussion, I always loved breakbeats, and I'm still playing breakbeats. I really love UK Garage at the minute. I think this is my vibe. This is what I've recently been booked to play a lot, which I'm not complaining about. I love it. I also love jungle, but also a bit more slow things like UK funky and some dubstep. But I'm really not picky with the genres, because I think genre is also a very difficult thing to pinpoint. And actually, I don't use genres to classify my songs, because I think, for example, within genres, there's so many sub-genres and things are kind of relative to each other. So while something might sound housey relative to a techno song, it could actually be quite percussive and bassy. And so I think the elements are the things that drive me a bit more. And in that respect, it's drums and bass and off kicks and some swing. I like that a lot.
Okay. So yeah, we can watch you play at different spots, but I noticed you are a resident at La Cabana.
Mm-hmm.
So how's that going?
It's going well. It only started this year in January, and I'm very happy because I played there once before in October for a party with Nicky Nair, and I loved the space, I loved the team. I think it's such a good sound, their lights are great, and it was one of the most nice times as a DJ, and I really wanted to play again, and I was very happy when they asked me to be a resident, because I think having a residency is actually something that I always wanted, because it's exactly the space where you can do eclectic things, and if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out, but you're kind of in a safe space, and also you're gonna be booked before different headliners, which might play all kinds of different genres, and it's a challenge. Whereas when you get booked in different parties as same kind of timings, it's easy to fall into the same kind of expected sound that people want you to play to bring the party. So having a residency is a good opportunity to just try out some different things.
So you're still experimenting also at a nightclub, right?
Yeah, always. I mean,
it doesn't narrow your perspective or your methods?
No, I think the times when I don't try to challenge myself during a set, I find it quite boring. And I leave the set feeling a bit like, well, I just played all the same tracks I played last weekend. And they are nice and I love them, but I didn't actually do anything new. And part of the fun of DJing is the discovery of new music and just trying to have a different experience, because at the end of the day, I'm DJing for me as well, and if I don't enjoy it, then everyone else can have fun, but I feel kind of bad about it.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah.
So a nightclub, it's unique in the city. What does a nightclub mean to you? What value does it have?
La Cabane specifically, or a nightclub in general?
In general.
Yeah, I mean, I think a nightclub is some place where, it's actually quite different from country to country, I find. I think in Brussels, the very close-knit scene where everyone kind of knows each other makes it kind of like an after-school activity. And you go and you see your friends and you go to experience this new music together, and, there's a big social aspect. I always love to go to clubs with my friends and debrief afterwards, like what music did you like, which hour did you find the most fun, which part of the club did you like to dance in. It's just nice to have those new experiences together. And I think when I was living in London, I was younger and I was in university, and it was about discovering music more, because the city's so big. And there were so many parties. Of course, you don't know anyone there. It's not like you see your neighbor in the club, like, which is possible in Brussels. It's possible in Brussels, not so possible in London. So there it was more about the grandeur of it. And I was also much younger and a bit, what's the word, starstruck. And it was definitely a good place to experience. And even now, I think it's a good place to just kind of be away from kind of the everyday life and be a bit anonymous with other people and talk, and I love it.
We talk about nightclub. Is there anything else you value in nightlife in general, or?
I definitely value the community aspect of nightlife. I think depends on what you describe as nightlife, because one thing that I really love is radio, and I think radio is very important for nightlife, but it's also possible to be a DJ on radio without participating in the club scene. But I love, sharing music. I love online forums. I even love following lots of things on Instagram. So I just like to know what people are doing, because it's a very diverse space. I think electronic music has a lot of avenues, and so it's nice to see what people who you've seen DJ when they curate a radio show for a different platform, or maybe they release their own music. It's nice to see how someone's artistic identity can travel through different avenues or different platforms.
All right. What can the world expect from you in 2024?
Definitely a more quiet year. I'm trying to not exhaust myself, because I had a very crazy 2023, and now I need to kind of conserve my energy. I want to start making music again and finishing my studies as well. Yeah.
Good luck on that.